Tighter Insider Preseason Camp is sponsored by The Locker Room.
Hello again, everybody, and welcome into our Tighter Insider Fall Camp Alabama Practice Update, brought to you by The Locker Room, home of the original Elephant Wear, alongside Rodney Orr from TighterInsider.com. I'm Gary Harris. Noteworthy today, we're just in from the practice viewing session for Alabama. First day in full pads, and I tell you something, Rodney, they were getting after it.
Yeah, you know, Gary, that's what football is. It's full pads, and they certainly are ramping it up. I'm telling you, it's really hot out there, too, so certainly these guys are extremely well conditioned. And, you know, when you look at it, Gary, it wasn't only the players. The intensity level from the coaching staff, you could kind of see it was up a notch.
It really is hot today. We've had some mild days, but the humidity is back today. I guess that's fitting with them being in full pads. I want to talk about the defensive line. We've touched on it, but still no Brandon Ivory, still no Jaron Reed, still no Tim Williams. Three really good football players. I know Alabama has a lot of depth, but the longer that practice goes without those guys out there, it's more likely that they won't be a factor in that first game. Who's going to pick up the slack?
Well, yeah, and the good news is that there's a lot of guys that can do it. You know, Ashawn Robinson's back. Of course, he had the fabulous freshman year. You know, Jonathan Allen's another guy that had a great freshman year. These guys have been really good through spring practice, and, you know, you have Dalvin Tomlinson, who missed most of last year. Well, he was injured right after the first game against Virginia Tech, and so he's back, and he's certainly looked good so far. You have some younger guys that are here. Deshaun Hand, we've talked about him, the freshman. He's looked extremely good. So they have a lot of talent, a lot of depth, Gary, out there in terms of guys that can help pick up the slack.
And on the offensive line, they're looking for five guys that will fit like a hand in a glove, so to speak. But the probability is that they'll start a true freshman at left tackle, Cam Robinson. I know he went through spring, but your impressions of him based on what you've seen in the fall, and will he be ready?
Well, and I said, you know, a long time ago, I thought the biggest thing for Cam Robinson was the fact that he could go through spring practice. He got acclimated, and he made a lot of progress. And I think the decision was made kind of halfway through spring. Let's go with Cam Robinson and see what he can do. And he's really made a lot of progress, Gary. I thought he looked really good in the one-on-ones on Sunday when I watched him, and I think he may start a little slow in the games, but I think as time goes on, by the middle of the year, he should be a really good player.
And finally, Rodney, let's talk about that outside linebacking group. We got a good look at them today with Lance Thompson working right in front of us. A lot of talent there is the case everywhere on the field, but again, they're looking for two frontline guys and two backups.
Yeah, Xavier Dixon, Denzel Duvall both back. They've worked at the jack position. Denzel is also working at that Sam spot. Dylan Lee, I think this is his chance to really step up and make a significant impact at that Sam spot. He also works in the, you know, the nickel and dime packages inside, and so certainly those guys are really, you know, going to be counted upon. And how about Rashaan Evans, the freshman? I mean, when you look at him physically, Gary, he looks outstanding. He's tremendous athlete. I think he's got a really good chance to make an impact at outside backer this year.
All right, Rod, first day in full pads. Everybody's jacked up, amped up, a lot of adrenaline out there. And tomorrow there will be two practices, one in the morning and one in the evening. We'll join you again tomorrow night. That's our Tighter Insider Fall Camp Update, brought to you by The Locker Room. For Rodney Orr, I'm Gary Harris.
Tighter Insider Preseason Camp is sponsored by The Locker Room.